Trust me, because this next speaker is, if there was a Wonder Woman in the e-com space, she would probably be the Wonder Woman. She's like a slayer when it comes to anything Amazon or e-com. I first met her, or her name is Janelle Page. I first met her in, I think, 2017. She came to one of the Illuminati mastermind events we did in Cancun, spoke there. She actually had to speak twice, and just crushed it. And since then, she's just been slaying it out there. I mean, she's works with a big 8-figure seller on Amazon, a very high 8-figure seller, and she's just a master at branding, at marketing, basically at making money. So what she's here today to do is to share with you what's working for her right now in their big 8-figure business. So Janelle, welcome to the stage. I'm super happy to have you here.
Thanks, Kevin. Hey guys, I can't see myself, which is probably good. So I can only see my slides. I can't see your chat, but I'll answer anything when we get over to the questions section. So I'm just going to jump right in because I've got 30 minutes and I want to make sure you get value. So I was going to talk about how to win the click, the cart, and your customer's heart, and what I'm really passionate about, which is audience and branding, building a brand, and the marketing side. Because honestly, when I come in, I start working with brands, it's usually the fundamental things that they don't have in place, and it makes everything else that much more difficult when you start marketing. But since I thought, well, you know what, all these guys are billion-dollar sellers, they probably don't want that. You can just come to my Prosper presentation because I'll have a lot of that in there if you're headed to Prosper. And if not, I do have an ebook I wrote years ago. I used to have an agency, I had a couple agencies, and I sold, but that is a really good primer. Just grab the QR code. It'll give you some background on, how to connect with your ideal customer. So there's that, and you'll get the slides if I'm going too fast. And now I'm going to talk about what we're doing right now that works. I've been selling on Amazon for a long time, and as Kevin mentioned, we go way back. I know the original owners and who started Helium 10, Manny and all those guys are the Illuminati. Is kind of like now Kevin's the Illuminati leader, I'd say. But this slide right here, why I included it is because it's become so important for me. And as I run my businesses, I have multiple Amazon businesses and e-commerce businesses. And if I don't know my numbers, I cannot crush it because it's getting tight, the margins. Back when we first started selling on Amazon, I've been selling since 2014. It was easier, I think, to make money on Amazon. I still think it's a great business model, great opportunity. I'm still here selling and doing alive and well. But as all of you know, Amazon's prices have gotten more expensive and there's more competition. So I just have to be really dialed in on AOV, LTV, customer acquisition costs. So I kind of put all those there, and you can read through them if you want later. But really, with that in mind, I want to dive into why I think it's so important to build your list. Now, when we talk about building your list, everyone always talks about that everywhere you listen on podcasts. Oh, build your list, build your list. And I'll talk to people that have this massive list, but they aren't doing anything with their list. So we're going to talk about you build your list so that you can ascend your purchasers. So I like to look at Amazon as a customer acquisition channel. And I always tell brands that I consult with or work with, that's how you should really think about Amazon. I know a lot of you maybe here, that's where you launched your products. You're maybe an Amazon only brand. Well, I did that too, but I've also discovered the beauty of e-com and actually really building a brand that's multi-channel or omni-channel. And when you are trying to acquire customers on Amazon, which is a great place to acquire them, I always tell people, it's like, if you had a hot dog stand or a lemonade stand, I would not tell my kid to go put it in the cul-de-sac. I would tell him to go to like the state fair, right? It's where all the traffic is. And that's why we love Amazon, because we can acquire customers. And Amazon thinks they're their customers, but I like to make sure that they become my customers. And so one of the first things, if I was, like your mom, sometimes I feel like I have kids, I'm like the mom of Amazon because I've been doing it for so long, but maybe as your mother, I would give you some tips today. And the first starting your and all of you are doing it. If not, here's some ways I've done it over the years. One of my first brands on Amazon was a toy brand. And I had a marketing agency called Kickfire Marketing. So we just started selling a toy line because that was my business partner that you see in the pictures. I don't know if you can see my mouse, but this is Tyler. And he used to manage a toy store and always wanted a toy brand. So we started doing toys. And one of the best ways we built our list was in every insert, every package had a QR code where we would teach the kids how to use the toys. So the Diablo is actually kind of a hard toy if any of you guys have ever tried to use it. And so we made some videos and they would scan that QR code and they would opt in. We had these videos available in a walled website, behind a wall. They had to give their email, and then they got access. We also then ascended them so they could buy more advanced tricks for $1. So it was really cool. It was a great little business model, and each toy kind of had something like that. So here's an example, like with the juggling balls, we had Phil with juggling skills. And so you don't have to do something expensive. Like I see a lot of presenters or people talking about like give away a free gift or buy something, that's like $5 and you ship to them. Those work great too. I've done that as well. But there's also try to be creative. Like how can I get their information by creating something of value that is, not expensive on my end. So that's an idea right there. So we had Phil with juggling skills. He would teach the kids how to juggle within 5 minutes. Again, the Diablo guy, and then Luke Kite Walker. That was my kid, one of my kids in a lot of marketing deals over the years. But he would teach the kids how to fly kites, and you can actually do tricks with kites. So anyhow, we built up a very, very big list of ready buyers. Now, some things that weren't free, and as you move not just from your insert strategy, another great way to build lists that you can use for launches was like Facebook advertising, or I still do it, is Facebook advertising, TikTok. This works really well. These are strategies we still use today. And this is an example of the Kickfire Cube. This was before I got the cease and desist from Rubik's Cube, but it was still a really great product that we sold like 30,000 units before we got that cease and desist within just a few months. And it was with this strategy here. I took that I had a regular size Rubik's Cube, and it was called the Kickfire Cube. Oh, and another great way that we got their information post-purchase was we created a Kickfire Cube solver's guide. So they would all opt in to receive that by PDF, and we built a really large list. And this we would run on Facebook ads. There wasn't TikTok at the time. And we would build a list that we'd ship them that free keychain, and then we'd upsell them into our other toys. So it was just a beautiful little system. So I want you thinking, I'm giving you a lot of ideas and examples because I'm hoping one will trigger you. I always, sometimes when we just see one example, we think, oh, well, yeah, that would be easy if I had toys. Well, just the other day, I'm on Instagram, and I get hit up with this free sample offer. Armani, you're probably like me, I do everybody's flows so I can see what they're doing, and this was really great. So I opted in for their free sample, and then they sent it to me. They collected my email address right there on Instagram, a form lead, and I got it in the mail. And it was really cool. It's just a little postcard with a flat, little tiny, so it probably cost them maybe 55 cents to mail that out. And now they have that information, and I'm getting a ton of emails from Armani, which is crazy because look, I don't even wear makeup. Anyhow, this extract, this was one of my first supplements that I launched, and I had Savello was a weight loss diet shake, and when I launched that, I would attach one of these stick packs to my Savello weight loss, and they could get a free sample of the box if they liked what they tried. So anyhow, this also, we ran on Facebook ads for a free sample. So just lots of different ways. Hopefully that's good. And then once I had this list, I would use postcards. I've heard a bunch of people, and this is actually something I just did 2 weeks ago. This is an actual postcard that went out for a new product launch on Amazon. This is the front, and this is the back. Simply went out to my entire list of existing buyers. There was over 45,000. Actually, there are repeat buyers on this particular brand, and they scan that QR code. They get the 30% off coupon. Takes them right to my Amazon listing. I actually just have a static coupon running on that. It's not where they're getting codes or anything, but I do that as well. So that's an example of how I use my list when I launch products, and I have some images that I'll show how it shot my product in the rankings. This is another example. Just did this launch in 1st of January, and I had to blur some of these out. I have some NDAs I own a lot of brands. I have partnerships in a lot of brands, and I also consult for some large brands. So on ones where I can show you, I will. When I can't, I'm just hopefully going to talk you through the gist. But this one was a supplement that we did a new product launch to our list of buyers, and I'll show you. That was the front, kind of just talked about the product. It's net new to them. And on the back, here's the back. We are telling them, they can get 30% off. How do you know this works? Well, we know the drop date of these postcard mailings, and I've seen a lot of people talking already about their results, and you've seen that they work, but check out that spike. You see where the arrow is, that's when our mailers dropped. So the other reason we knew that it worked, because sometimes I like using actual claim code, because then you can track it in your reports. But with this one, our coupon expired accidentally. That was an oops on our part, and our customer service got a lot of calls with people upset about not being able to get the coupon to work. So we ended up shipping it from our D2C, which was great because we got their information as well. So maybe in the future I will do these mailings and accidentally forget to put that coupon, because I did get some phone numbers as well as emails and shipping addresses. Okay. So we know we're going to build our list. And if there's a lot of people, I don't want to be a dead horse with a stick, but I saw a lot of people already talk about, I'm always exporting my customers' addresses. And I actually saw someone give another company, I've been using TextJar. So I'm really excited about trying that, because TextJar for me and a lot of the brands I own and work with, it's expensive. We're doing hundreds of thousands of transactions a month, and you're paying per transaction to get that data. So I'm really excited to check out some of those other services where I can get that data. It's been huge for our business, for review follow-up, for product launches. So if you aren't doing that, even though it's expensive the way I do it, it's been very much what I highly recommend. Okay, cool. Now, second thing I would tell you as your Amazon mother is, hey, videos increase conversion rates. I know you probably have video. If you don't, do you have the playlist stack attack? That's what I call it. I should trademark it. But did you know that you can put up to 10 videos in your Lightbox? That's what we call this little pop-up thing here. And I like to use them all. So, you know, usually and they get uploaded in the order that you upload. So you have to be kind of strategic about it. But I like to make sure my first video is like my best video, the one where I kind of show the product in use and everything. But after that, like if I've got influencers that have given me permission to use their videos, or great ads that I've run that, you know, are Amazon compliant, I just usually have my editors edit out. I'll load it up so I have what I call the playlist stack attack. And it's really cool because you can actually see, you know, I'm going to skip this slide for a minute. You can actually go in, do you guys know where this is in your managed videos? And you can see how well they're performing, where people are dropping off. But like, see, these are examples of influencers that have our products and that we've taken their videos after, you know, they've done work with us, and we'll upload them to the stack attack. And you can see, man, is it holding retention? Is it not? And I don't know. You can adjust in playlist, and you can remove videos that aren't performing. But we have seen, obviously, videos increase your conversion rates on product detail pages. Anyone who's in e-commerce can attest to that. They can't hold, touch, and feel your product like they can in a retail setting. So videos enable them to get live. I don't know, I guess we should just say video speaks a million words. You know, if you say a picture's worth 1,000 words, a video's worth 1,000,000, because we can just process so much. All right. And then you can still see in your managed videos. I like this screen. I uploaded it because it's a quick way to see really quick. These right here will show you which products of yours are still missing videos. So if you have a large catalog, I have many brands with large catalogs. This is a fast way for me to see where I need to focus my efforts first. So I want to go back because I did put this in here. Everyone will always ask me after I tell them they're going to get videos, how do I create a video for a high converting product detail page video? And this is a workshop that I usually teach at Prosper. They charge $497 for people to come to that, $497. So I told Kevin, I just threw it in here. You can go to that landing page. Anyone who wants it, because I don't have time to go over how to create a high converting PDP video. That's a 3-hour workshop I usually teach. And I've made it $97, but I'm not being pitchy. I'm just saying that's value for you if you're like, I don't know where to start. I wish I just had a script, or there you go. Okay. And then optimize for mobile. Okay. This is as your Amazon mother. I don't know, but if you're like me, I'm always on my computer working. So I actually do all of my shopping on my computer desktop. And I forget that like the large majority of people are actually shopping on their mobile device. You know, if you got your mobile device, actually pull it up, go into your Amazon app, and look at your listings. I talk to so many people who know that they should optimize for mobile. They don't really ever go on Amazon on mobile, so they don't even know how things appear because they're only seeing it on their desktop. Why this is important is, I'll show you because, okay, I'm pretending like you all are looking at your listings on mobile, but I wanted to show you this picture because look at what you see when you click product listing. You don't even see the bullet. You see the title and that first image, right? And so I always talk about, I don't have time to talk about it today, but the importance of storyboarding your images. And I like to pretend nobody's ever going to read an ounce of my writing that I've written. They're going to look at my pictures. And so those pictures, I used to be in the advertising industry, and I would just lay them out like ads. And I've done this for years now. Everybody's pretty much doing it. So anyhow, that's what I'm talking about there. Now, I am a huge fan of A/B split testing your hero image. I've tried all of the different like PickFoos, and I love PickFoo, but I also love this because what I found with PickFoo, which I'll still use probably during my product, I'd say ideation phase, because you get a lot of good feedback. But people often, I've heard Kevin say this too, it's been my experience as well. People will say things in a survey when their money's not on the line that's actually different than their behavior when they're actually shopping, when they're actually going to purchase something. So this A/B split test, I feel, is far more valuable than than, you know, a bunch of people in an Amazon group or a Facebook group giving me feedback. Now that's good feedback. Like I said, during product ideation, I call it, you know, product development stage, but this right here, this data tells me what a shopper actually did with their money when they opened up their wallet. And I am always split testing my heroes, because I feel like if I can make a 1 to 2% improvement, and I can't do it week over week, but it's like, you know, every 4 weeks after your experiment ends, that is worth it, because over a year, think about that improvement, how it really adds up on your conversion rate. So that's just a little tip. I know it sounds labor intensive. Trust me, I have in this one account right here over 4,000 SKUs. So how I focus and pick, I pick, you know, my top sellers where I'm moving the needle. It's always like that 80-20. Sometimes it's like 90-10. So I focus on my SKUs that are doing the bulk of the business to make those really optimized, because they actually carry, I have a very long tail. All right. So, and I put the screenshot there. And this is just a screenshot of, you know, if you even look at some of these competitive spaces, I'm in some of the most competitive spaces. I think we all think we're in competitive spaces. Well, we're all in competitive spaces anymore. I can't think of an Amazon. Okay, I do have one brand that I still own, just straight up myself, that is not very competitive, and I never talk about it because I don't want it to become competitive. And you don't have to do too much there, but it's also not selling so much. So, you know, everyone that's taking these guru product research courses are never going to like think, oh, I should enter this space. But look at this. Just if you notice the massage guns over the years, their title SEO, this is something when I work with brands, I find out they do not revisit their titles very often. Now, everyone here at this event, I know that we know the importance of optimizing our titles, and we don't set it and forget it, because keyword search volume changes. Anyone who uses Helium 10, which I love that tool, and you go into the one column, it's on right after the search phrase in Magnet, it will tell you what that trend is for, or the search volume trend. Actually, it's after your search volume on the right side. That next column is search volume trend. You'll see that they trend up and down. And so I just like watching always what my competition is doing, obviously, but making sure that I'm still got the most relevant keywords in my titles. I was just thinking, just this year alone, I have a line that is, you know, formerly marketed as vegan, and that term, whilst there's still a search volume, it's kind of fallen out of favor in the community. It's more leaning towards whole foods, plant-based. And so kind of swapping that out, not necessarily taking vegan out of the title, but moving it, you know, in phrase order, so it's not the first thing you see, especially on mobile when the title's truncated. It was more important for the consumer and my research results to see that whole foods, plant-based over vegan, if that makes sense. So you have about 80 characters. This is a desktop view, but 80 on, let's see if I put it here. I didn't. 80 characters on mobile that, you know, before it gets truncated. So anyhow, and then just check this out. You know how during a time I don't know if you can see my mouse because I can't tell what you guys can see, but hopefully, you know, they would all look like this, right? And then look, now this guy's differentiating, you know, he put his Christmas bow on. Maybe it's Valentine's Day because I literally took this like 3 days ago. So I don't know, maybe there's another holiday in this country. I'm not great with my flags. And then over here, Chinese are trying to make it like this velvety thing. It does make it pop, doesn't it? Like my eye goes there. So, you know, anything you can do to try to differentiate. And if you ever attend like Anthony's presentation with PickFood, he does a really good job walking you through some of that. So shout out to them on those strategies. Okay, but just wanted to remind you, this is something, don't set it and forget it. Revisit it, especially if you're your top sellers. It really does make a difference. Okay. Another little tip is that I've been doing this year that works a lot. I've been doing it a long time too, but things that are still working in 2022, February, took these slides. I made these slides like the day before they were due just for Kevin. Not that I'm a procrastinator, but just so you know, they're all up to date. This right here, we do the coupon trick, and I've seen a lot of people talk about it, so I won't belabor the point here, but it works and you can test it. You can see which discount, whether it's 5% off or a dollar amount or 20% or 50%. I actually learned something new today, or it was yesterday, that I always thought if you put more than 30% off coupon code that they couldn't leave a review. So I thought that was awesome news, because during product launches, I was always capping my coupon at 30% because I didn't want the people to not be able to leave a review. And I learned that they can, even if you do a 50% off. So I'm pretty stoked about that. And I'm going to try that in my next product launch, because even when we were running the big discounts, the 30% off, during a product launch, we do get exceptional sales velocity. So knowing that, and then I also have just this little call out over here that we've actually preferred this method, the launch with a coupon, a steep coupon to a lower launch price because of the buy box issues when you're trying to raise your price. So just echoing some of that I know you've probably heard also. Okay, the other reason that I love coupons is because obviously it stands out in the search results, and half the people, at least in our experience, forget to apply them. So, you get the eye candy that kind of makes you pop, and then you don't necessarily have people always applying it. And then if you've never really used coupons, just know they cost 60 cents per use plus whatever the discount you're offering. Cool? Okay, am I going fast? I better check my time. 2:18. Okay, I never use this. Okay, tip number, whatever we're at, let's say it's 5, still working for me today is deal of the days. Now, I know for many of you, this may not be an option. There's accounts I still have where I don't have a SaaS core rep, and that is the only way I know how to get approved for deal of the day, or if you got an Amazon insider that's trying to get you to get a SaaS core rep and we'll throw you a bone and get you set up for one. But deals of the day have worked really well for us. And if you're familiar with them, I'm going to assume everyone here is familiar with them. I'm just going to tell you that you can email me, or we can, in the question section, ask more about them. But I can attest that they work well. They have worked well for us. And, it's hard to get you have to have certain sales velocity on an ASIN, and they have to have 4 stars or higher, and for it to be eligible, and you're going to need a SaaS core rep. But there you go. I think why it does so well is it appears on the deal page, but I think also what I like to do with it is what helps it do better. So if you've done deal of the days and you're like, they're kind of hit and miss, well, try this next time. It might be, I think it's later in my presentation. I have a slide on it, but we will throw ads behind it. So you don't need to remind me when I get there, but I'll show you. I did make some slides showing you that, okay, to kind of boost your deal of the day. All right. Another tip, let's say this is tip number 6. And this shouldn't be overwhelming because this is all stuff like literally you can do. The posts, and you can't do this one. I know it does it pretty cheap for you, and she's helping me out with some of my brands. Her name is Christina, and she's with Amazon Social, so I'm happy to introduce you to her. Great prices, great lady, and she's an Amazon seller herself that actually does pretty well. So anyhow, on the post before, on this one right here, I just had one of my customer service reps. She would literally take our brand posts, and I taught her how to tweak it a little bit, and she'd repurpose them for Amazon posts. And if you're not doing it, this is all free traffic. Look, I just put some in here. I think this is my last 90 days on this one brand. And look at all of those impressions and the product clicks. Now, Amazon doesn't yet tell us the conversion rate, but I can extrapolate that. I know on this brand what my average conversion rate is, 30% on this brand. So 989 product clicks, let's just assume that I had the 30% conversion rate. I got almost, 330 sales. That's pretty awesome. That didn't cost me any ad cost. And my ad costs, I don't know about you, but they are going up, and I'll take any free traffic I can get. So what are we doing? I am only posting once per day. I have tried posting multiple times per day. In fact, we're testing a lot of different things. If we post 3 times a day, if we post 7 times a day, if we post every other day, honestly, I cannot figure out that. I don't even feel like Amazon Post has any kind of algorithm. If any of you guys have figured out anything, let's chat, because literally you can see my numbers are all over the place. You'll see sometimes I get 2,000 impressions, and if I've had ones that pop off and get like 30,000, and then I can't figure it out. It'll be ones where I posted 3 days in a row, and then there'll be another one that popped and it was once every 3 days. So I'm just gonna say that they don't have an algorithm yet on this. They're trying. I feel like it's like TikTok right now. You get lucky or something and one pops. So cool. Okay, this is a trick that I've been using for a long time, and I just add the Spanish keywords, not just in my back-end search terms. And I saw someone's presentation. I'm so terrible with names, but she did great. She's the flat file queen that did a whole presentation on Spanish, and I can, testify to what she's teaching. This is true and powerful. I only giving it to you, my good peeps. Don't give it to everyone else. It's just for us. Spanish keywords, they do index, and they do index in your enhanced brand content or A+ content. I put them in my image keywords right there. And if you have been one of those people that say your A+ content does not get indexed by Amazon, go throw in your Spanish keywords if you're not indexed before form in your alt image tags and give it like 24 hours, and then do a search for the Spanish keywords you put in there and watch yourself index. So, okay. So that's a power tip for you if you're not doing that one yet. Okay, I need some water. Hold on. Okay, we got 7 minutes. I'm around. Okay, sponsored brand headline ads. Okay, I love ads. I spend a lot of time on improving my skills on advertising because I feel like this is pretty much the only place where I can move the needle anymore on Amazon after all things, we're already talking about. Sponsored brands is where I put a lot of focus the last year and heading into this year. And I've always done this where if you go in my sponsored headline ads, you will see hundreds of campaigns because I break them out keyword specific and I create individual headlines that match. I call it AdSense, I guess it's from all the days of like advertising on social media or Google, where I found that I have higher conversion rates and relevancy when my search term, my headline ad actually matches the search term. So you see this person on Amazon typed in hydroponic grow light. For me, I would have created a campaign which was specific to just that keyword. That's one of the top keywords in this category. And I would have made the headline, instead of high efficiency LED grow light, there's nothing in here that tells the consumer that, that connects the dots between hydroponic grow light and high efficiency LED grow light. A much better headline ad for this would have been high efficiency hydroponic, because now I'm like, oh, that's what I was looking for, LED grow light. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so that is what I talk about when I'm saying in number 2, get hyper specific in your headline ads, okay? And that's with your images and your text. And I have an example of that because check out L'Oreal. If you just go test this, you'll see how many brands are utterly failing on this. And this is how I know a lot of us can improve. And it's made a big difference in my business. But if someone types in L'Oreal lipstick, check out their headline ad that pops up. It says nothing about lipstick. And look at, this is what the H, because they don't even have lipstick showing as their product. So big miss on L'Oreal's part. That's okay. I like when big brands are not as nimble as us because then we can kick them. And check it out. The third one is on phrase specific search tests. Switch it up between your product collection and your store spotlight. The product collection I found on certain aspects will convert higher because it pulls in the reviews. And if you look at the store spotlight, I think I'll show you, I've got a store spotlight right here. This is the difference between a store spotlight, and these work great too, but you'll see on certain things when you want to use store spotlight versus product collection. I want to go back though, because I want to make some points before we get there. So this is an example of not what to do on your sponsored brand headlines. This is a great sponsored brand headlines, vitamin B12, B12 vitamins for energy and metabolism, and you see how it matches. You have the B12 here, B12, B12. So I know this is like, oh, wow, that would take a lot of time, but it really will make the difference. And that's why in some of my accounts, you typically hear these ad gurus telling you like, your sponsored products should be 70% and 20% sponsored brands and 10% sponsored display. Well, I actually have some accounts where I'm running at 50% sponsored brands. That includes my video too, because I feel like there's some video tactics that you can really crush it with. I don't have anything on that today, but that really are outperforming my PPC results. So that's why I'm saying don't be tied to some ratio. Go where you're getting the best results. And if you implement some of these headline tactics, I think you'll see some great results too. And what's actually also really exciting is I've been communicating with this guy. I actually think Kevin knows him. His name's David, and he has a agency that only focuses on sponsored headline ads. And video ads. And so I'm gonna have him do some work on one of my brands that I feel like is pretty dialed in, and see if he can grow that, because I know how much success I've had with my sponsored brand strategies, and if he's like even next level, so maybe I will report to you, because we just started working together. Give me a couple months so I can tell you if like he was even able to take it next level more, because he's got some cool stuff that we're gonna try. So to be decided. Here's a great tactic that I like to use. If you're trying to decide, what should I feature, like when someone types in your brand name in the Amazon search results, come into Amazon search term. This is in your brand analytics. Type in your brand name and then look at the terms that come up. And these are the categories I like to put. So if you see Mary Ruth as an example, their top search term is Mary Ruth probiotics. You see when you type in, they're, I think, either using this strategy or just got lucky, but this is what they did have when I typed in Mary Ruth. They have a probiotics section, and then they have their multivitamins, and then they put all other products. That's a really killer strategy. They are basically giving the customer what they want in that ad, and then they take them to their store spotlight pages. So I just wanted to highlight that this is just a cool little tactic that you could implement. And then another good example is Yes Bars was doing this well. They have, if you go in their brand analytics, you see they have their top flavors when you type in Yes Bar, and they're taking you to the Mary Roos was a store spotlight example. They're taking you to the individual product detail pages. Okay. And this is a really killer strategy. So when people type in a specific phrase, so let's say they're not typing in your brand, they're just typing in this example, magnesium, right? How do you know which products to showcase and get a higher click-through rate? Well, this market basket analysis has been powerful for me. So I go in, I type in, actually just go pull your brand for your brand, right? And it will show you when somebody buys your magnesium, the other 2-3 products that are in their cart. And if you have those products or something similar, then you can throw that. And this is for your brand. I'm just getting ahead of myself. This is for your brand. It'll tell you what order they buy. So like you could say, oh, they buy vitamin C and they also buy D-mannose. So then you put that in your ad, okay? I'm gonna show you one more thing right here. Okay, this actually was the tactic that I was showing you, talking about earlier, how I boost my deal of the day sales. I will get aggressive with my ad strategy, because check it out, it pulls in your deal of the day coupon right there. So if you've ever said, oh, my deal of the days aren't that great, next time you have a deal of the day, create your headline ads and go after the main category keywords. So look, Fitbit, on the day they were running their deal of the day, was going after watches, which is a very broad keyword. You wouldn't think you would go, after watches with Fitbit. But when you're running a limited time deal or a deal of the day, that's a great way to get more exposure. And when your deal of the days perform well, you get better placement. You'll get your SaaS core rep encouraging you to do more, or offering you more opportunities to do more. So anything you can do to help supercharge it really, really works. And then also, this is the other strategy when you have a limited deal run, go after your competitors. So you see Instant Pot doing this really well. They are running a deal on Friday, and they went after Kasori, which is a competitor in the space of the Instant Pot. So those are just some tactics that I've used that are working, and I see some other brands I was able to capture some images, so you can apply them too. 2:30. This is an example where you should not spend. Knowing when to spend and not to spend is half the battle. And I'll give you an example of Vault or drill. If you typed in their branded search term right now, why would they pay for this headline spot ad when they've already got 2 bestseller badges and 2 organic rankings here? So I thought, we are thoughtful about that as well, because we don't want to spend, obviously, always branded can eat up a big part of your budget, and we're always focused on incrementality and getting those NTB, which is new to brand customers. So again, knowing when to spend and when not to spend. Here's a good example of when you probably don't need to spend on that keyword. Okay, how do I know if you want me to stop? Because it's technically 2:30, and I think that I only have a few more slides. Like, I could probably do it in 3 minutes. Should I hurry and do it, or do you want me to stop? Maybe
you can continue. You can continue.
Okay, guys, this is something I want to throw in here, because the Walmart ad tip, I actually just saw this on Helium 10, and I like to consider myself pretty savvy, but I did not know that when you're advertising on Walmart, you can only have one of the top positions. So the way the gentleman explained it was, if you're advertising, say, your vitamin C, and it's the top sponsored search result, if you were ranking high organically, it will not be above the fold as well. So I actually went back and looked at some of my Walmart ads, and I was cannibalizing my organic, meaning I was paying for clicks where I was already ranking above the fold. And because my Walmart ads are not as tightly monitored as my Amazon, I was like, holy crap. So I turned off those ads because I'm already ranking high on those products. So I just wanted to throw that in, because I'm saving about $10,000 a month just from that little tip that Kevin had on Helium 10 the other day. So thank you, Kevin. And anyone who maybe missed that or isn't in Helium 10 Elite, kind of wanted to throw that out, because that was kind of a big deal. All right, now figure out live commerce. This one's kind of interesting, because I know Gracie just did a presentation. I've been messing around with Amazon Livestream for quite a while, just because I'm a huge believer in live shopping. I'm not a huge believer yet in Amazon Livestream. I just know that I like the placements they're giving. I've spent money with influencers, good amount of money, and some freebies, and I'll have to tell you, about the only people I hear that think Amazon Livestream is awesome is the people that are live streamers. I work with a lot of YouTubers, I work with a lot of influencers, and I know they're being heavily Amazon to stream platform, because Amazon wants to become the next Taobao. And there's a huge race, right? We've got all these apps, TikTok, we've got Instagram, we've got Flip now. They're trying to be the hub, the new Taobao, because this is the future. I don't know if you believe it or not, but I told people years ago to get into crypto. I have people still from our first masterminds coming up to me and thanking me, giving me hugs. I'm telling you now, live commerce is the shiz, and you got to figure it out. I don't care if Amazon figures it out. I spend time here. I want to tell you my results have been pretty crappy, and it doesn't mean I'm going to stop. I'm going to keep till I figure it out, because I want to be where it's going to explode. I do want you to know that Flip, I've seen some good results. If you're in the beauty space, this is a newish app, very new to me. I would say about 3 months we've been using it. And why it's pretty cool is there are some good influencers making good content there. Again, it's only for beauty, but you can game the algorithm really fast. So when we put content up, or we have someone make content, we send all our employees over and we interact and engage with it, and it's at the very, very top. So I put that in here for any of you who are in that beauty space. It's a really good app. And then TikTok, the influencers and the swipe up shopping is working really well for a lot of our brands. And I think I have in my hack, if you guys are going to the hack, I have a tip for how to get your TikToks to pop. Okay, now on our website, this is where I want to tell you why I'm a big believer in live commerce. We have several brands where there is color matching, trying on, and we have live shopping apps. And this is an app. There's several out there that we've tried. All of them have their quirks, but this is one that I'm using currently on a couple sites that I like. I still think there's some improvements that can be made, and they will come because people are spending a lot of money to figure out this space. This allows our customer service to interact with our customers, and our conversion rates are through the roof. We can color match them. We can help them try on products. We can help them make a selection. I tell you, this is why I'm such a believer. The interaction is insane. So I want to just throw that out. How can you use live shopping? When someone lands on your page, most of you have a chat anyways, and this is a big deal. And I want to show you this slide I made because I just spent last week in LA, a couple of the brands that we did an executive retreat, and we met some of the employees of one of the brands, and they are all like Gen Z, which are like 18 to like 24. I don't actually know the age range technically, but those were the age of these kids. And I got up to do my executive presentation on Amazon, and their eyes were kind of like, Amazon, come to find out, almost half of these kids have never even shopped on Amazon. You know what was fascinating to me is that they all think Amazon is a cheap piece of crap. They were like, I don't shop on Amazon. And it was like mind-blowing. I was like, it was like being with my teenagers who are like Instagram, whatever. They're all on TikTok or Snapchat. And I thought, is this kind of the future? Like people like this Generation Z thinks Amazon's cheap and crap. And I have seen when we do a lot of our brands, we are native. We are not Amazon first brands. We built on D2C and then we go over to Amazon. We built them with these Gen Zs, and you hit them on TikTok, you hit them on Instagram and all the social and YouTube platforms, and they are not adverse to shopping on brand websites. In fact, they prefer it. They love that interactive, and that's how I know that having your website and live shopping, it works. So I just wanted to throw that out because I think sometimes, and I know when I first got into Amazon, it was just Amazon, 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 but realize that there's a whole generation out there that thinks Amazon's a piece of shit. Sorry for my language. Okay, so your like almost final tip is inflation is real. I literally raised my prices in January 10%, and I just went back and did another 10%. And not because I'm being greedy. It's just like, man, Amazon's raising their prices. My suppliers are raising their prices. My shipping's doubled. So it's, in fact, my kid just came on his bike yesterday, and he told me that the dollar store is now $1.25. Or was it 29? I can't remember, but it's not Dollar Tree. I mean, it is still Dollar Tree, but it's going to be $1.29 tree. So I just wanted to give you, as your mother on Amazon, that inflation tip. Final closing thoughts. And in honor of my late business partner, I always like to close with, remember what matters. On Amazon, I mean, in any business, things can get stressful. I mean, we probably all lost containers or had something blow up, a Facebook account get shut down, an ASIN, our bestseller, go down right before Black Friday, speaking from experience on all of these. And I lost my business partner to a brain tumor. he actually passed away in 2018, but in 2017 he was diagnosed with a brain tumor. He was traveling abroad in Italy. He literally ran the whole operations. I had 2 marketing agencies, 3 brands we were managing. We had 50 employees, and he went traveling abroad and got a migraine, was throwing up, went to the hospital. He had a brain tumor the size of a racquetball. They did emergency surgery that afternoon and removed part of his frontal lobe, and he came out pretty much a vegetable. He was paralyzed on his left side. He lost his short-term memory. I didn't even know my passwords, people. That was some real problems. And then, you know, we lost Tyler, but I always think about that. Like, there's nothing that can go fundamentally wrong. And then my sister right now is, she's in palliative care with bone cancer. These are my 2 sisters. Just in 2015, they both got breast cancer, and Annette and Sheree, and it's me shaving my sister's head as her cancer came back in her bones. And then this is her just of last week, and she's, you know, on, what do we call, like, hospice. So, like, nothing can go permanently wrong. Like, anytime there's like a problem, and I have a coworker that's always like, why are you so happy? And I'm always just like, oh my gosh, like, I have my health, like, everything's grand. Like, there's really no problem. So I just always want to remind people when I give presentations that remember what matters, because really we have our health, we have everything, and we have our loved ones, and everything's good. So keep crushing it in business. If you want to connect with me or follow me, there I am. I don't do anything really exciting. I'm not an influencer, just an average person. And if you have any questions, I'll head over to the chat.